Alrighty, we're back. Come on, Connor! I can't believe that as a 14 handicapper, I've decided to do an instructional video, but we are going to do it because Guru Graham taught me this bump and run technique that I absolutely want to share with you. See the Guru Graham bump and run technique? Look at this. Ooh, because I do think it's an absolute game changer. Certainly for me. Certainly when I get it, I get it. And as you would have seen, if you're an avid watcher and subscriber, that there's been lots of fantastic bump and runs that have shaved some shots off my scorecard. Happy day. So step number one with this bump and run technique is the swing. So very important. First, you get your weight on your front foot and the club is at the back of your stance. You're de-lofting the club. When you swing the club backwards, it needs to be consistent. So basically the swing never changes with this bump and run technique. The only thing that changes is the club. So for example, my weight's on my front foot, so I've de-lofted the club. Now, so the swing stays the same. So you have to swing the club back until you feel the weight of the club. So that's the thing that always has to be consistent. So I feel the weight of the club is there. And all you have to do is get to that point consistently and let the weight of the club do the work. So as I said, the swing stays the same throughout. The only difference is the club that you use. Guru Graham always suggested to start with a pitching wedge. So you're always looking for consistency with your golf. If we're always swinging the club back to the consistent same place, the resulting downswing using the weight and the gravity of the club head should always be consistent. So the premise is, as long as you're always connecting flush with the ball, then the rollout of your bump and run should always be consistent. I have noticed that if you thin or fat a little bit, not massively, that the result of the ball will actually be very, very similar. So step two, we've got 5 balls here. Now we're going to hit some balls and we're not worrying about hitting to a target. We're just trying to do that consistent swing. So there's one. I'm not looking at where the ball ends up. I just want to have a consistent swing. Nice, similar contact each time. So we're not trying to hit at any specific target. We're just trying to hit it on the same line to figure out what our rollout distance is. That's exactly what we're doing. Hopefully with a very similar swing each time. So all of these 4 contacts have been pretty flush. So I've now hit 5 balls and I'm going to bring you the camera back from where we hit the ball. So if I zoom in, I'm really happy with this. I didn't actually even look at where the balls ended up, but look at that dispersion. That's fantastic. So that's exactly what we're after. So again, we're not trying to aim for a target. We're just trying to hit the ball solidly along the same line on the green. So what you have to do now is where I've hit the ball from, we're going to pace it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I am standing right in the middle of my ball dispersion, which was pretty tight. I was very happy with that, and it was 13 paces. What I've noticed from experience of doing this a lot now is that my pitching wedge rollout distance, as long as I get that same length of backswing and a solid strike, is between 12 and 13 paces. That was 13 paces. You do need to do this every round because obviously every green will be different and the greens will obviously be different every time you play a course, you know, dependent on the weather conditions, how they've mown the grass. We're looking now at 13 paces for my pitching wedge. So we just need to remember that number, 13 paces. Now what you do is you go from your target, which is this hole here, and we're going to stride out 13 paces, and that will be your bump and run rollout for your pitching wedge. So we go 1, 2, 10, 11, 12, 13 paces to here. So there's my balls, 13 paces away from the hole. I know it's a slight left to right break on this green. So now that I've paced out 13 of my paces from the hole, I'm hoping, as long as I've got a consistent backswing, using the weight and the gravity of the club head, consistent strike, the distance should be very, very similar. So the main concern for missing by quite a margin would actually be that you've just misread the line of the break. So hopefully the distance is fine. We're going to see what the break is like to see how close we can get. So basically this technique takes all the guessing work out of trying to get this ball close to that hole. Guessing work with regards to the distance control. As long as I have a consistent backswing and a solid strike, it's going to end up near the hole, presuming I pick roughly the right kind of line. Let's have a look. That's going to be all right, that one. See, I'm kind of looking down at the next ball because I know straight off the bat if it's a good one or not. That's going to be a good one. So, as you can see, those two, look at that, nearly in. I hope I get one in for the vlog, because I know you're all waiting for a card of spaz. So these three I've been very happy with. Perfect backswing. Oh, look at that. Maybe I should stop there. No, let's get one in. That could be in as well. Right, so these four, okay, a bit short. That was an amateur miss. That wasn't a pro miss. All right, last one. Let's try and get this one in. That's going to be a bit too hard. Break, break. Oh, not a bit too hard. Could be in. Look at that. Look at that. 5 shots. Absolutely happy with all those. So obviously the premise of this bump and run technique, absolutely if you get one in, happy days. Quite often, I've been hitting balls quite often into the hole. But as you can see, the premise is if you're missing greens, you're getting up and down. If you can be consistent with this technique, I'm not yet consistent with it, but I'm getting there. I mean, look at that. They are all putts that I shouldn't miss. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Even someone with the caliber of my putting shouldn't be missing those. Maybe that one out of every 20, I might miss it, but they should all be in. You know, it's helping you to save pass, helping you to shave shots. So I'm happy with that. Really happy. So that wasn't a bad demonstration. So then the next thing you do, and now we're using a 9-iron, so nothing changes. Same length backswing, weight forward on your stance, club head at the back of your stance, club head weight till you feel the weight, the gravity starting to pull down, then just let the club head do the work. So you're doing exactly the same thing. We're just figuring out our rollout distance now for our 9-iron. 13 paces for the pitching wedge. So look at those two right next to each other. I'm really not, that was a bit fat. I'm really not spending any time looking at the line. You're just concentrating on the same backswing and then a nice solid connection. Right, really happy with those 5. So again, none of those shots I'm not happy with. So again, I've just shot those from here. We're going to pace it out. 1, 2, 12, 13, 14, 15. My foot is there, right in the middle of that dispersion. Again, very happy with that dispersion. So I know that on this green, on this occasion, on this day, with this humidity, this climate, it's 15 paces for my 9-iron. So you do exactly the same thing. You walk back 15 paces from your target. If you hit it clean, hit it flush, your backswing is consistent, you'll be very close to the hole, presuming you pick the right line. Happy days. Happy with that one. Happy with the line. That one's going to be a little bit under red. Oh, it wasn't that far away actually. Happy with that one. That one's going to be all right as well. That one could be a little bit hot. Yeah. Hey, it happens. That's why we practice, right? So let's try and make amends for that one. Hit this one in. Come on, Carter. So that was a thin, that one. Look at that. I thinned that one. That turned out to be the best shot. That was not far from going in. So far then we've done the pitching wedge and the 9-iron. Then you move on to your 8-iron. I've noticed that my 9-iron is always 2 paces more than my pitching wedge. My 8-iron is 2 paces more than my 9-iron. 17 paces, just from experience. I've always known that my 8-iron is 2 paces more than my 9-iron. So my 9-iron was 15, so I'm going to go 17 paces for my 8-iron. So I'm not really spending a lot of time with the line. It's more about consistent backswing, consistent strike. See how we do. So just short of pin high. The line was terrible, so we'll make the adjustment now. So this one, I'll take that any day of the week. Again, we're happy with that one. I mean, that's super close. That's just a little bit short, but that's the right line now. So let's see if I can repeat that line. That's looking pretty close as well. This could be in. All right, it'll be really good to get one in so we can have a card of spaz for this. But I hope you get the idea, guys, that this is all about just trying to get up and down. So the first one was just offline. Obviously, I didn't spend a lot of time looking at the line, but these last four from 17 paces away, I would absolutely take those. These two absolutely should be putting. That one and that one. That one, that's definitely missable for Carter, even though that's in. And that's in, nearly. And this one, so it's just short of pin high. If it was online, this would be a 1.5 foot putt. Let's see if we can putt this one in. Leave it short. Standard. All right, so there you have it. The bump and run technique. It's enabling you to get up and down if you've missed a green. As long as you're consistent with that backswing, really use the weight of the club head to do all the work. You're not forcing the swing, you're just letting the club head do the work and have a flush, solid contact. Even though I've demonstrated a few fats and thins can still work out for you, you can get away with it. It gets you up and down. Sorry that I didn't put any in today, but there were some that were definitely close, and I have many times on this practice green put balls in from 15, 17, even 19 paces away. The most important thing is to get your line right. As long as you're consistent with your backswing, consistent with your strike, you're going to be close to the hole, and I hope you score many pars and even some birdies. So let's do a Carter spaz anyway. Come on, Carter! All right, thanks for joining me. Hope this was useful. It's definitely been useful for me. It's definitely dropped shots off my scorecard, so happy days. See you next time. Oh, screw this. I've decided we're gonna hopefully put one in. That's gonna be good. That's gonna be good. That's gonna be good. Come on, Carter. All right, that's what we want, right? We want to give ourselves a definite chance of par, but obviously the more we practice this, the more likely we are to at some point hit one in. Right, that was a thin. I thinned that massively, but look at the result. It's just a few inches short of the one that I nearly just put in. So come on, Carter. That was also a thin. Okay, but again, yeah, that's considerably shorter, but it's turned out all right. But let's try and match that first one. Mind you, it's going to be tough to put one in now because the hole is a bit blocked, but let's see how we do. That one's actually all right. But as you can see, we'll absolutely take these 5. What do you think? Should we try once more? Try and get one in? We've been close, pretty consistent. I'll say 8 out of 10 we're happy with. 8 out of 10 we're thinking, yep, I can putt that for a par. If you're just off the green on a par 5, I can putt that for a birdie. So let's go. It's going to get in. Come on, Carter! Good one to end on, I think. It's all about getting up and down. If you put one in, happy days. I enjoyed making that instructional video, and it is, of course, thanks to the Guru Graham, for teaching me that technique. I have been getting more consistent with it, and it will continue to help me shave shots to finally break 80. Hopefully that's coming soon, so do stick around. If you're not an avid watcher and subscriber, come on, click that subscriber button, and we'll see you at the next episode. Thanks for tuning in. Comment down below if this was helpful for you, if you're going to try it. If you do try it, let me know how it goes. Send me some video evidence. If you put one in, like that one, I expect to see a Carter spaz. Happy days. Come on, Carter.